Good morning, you guys. So today is full body, and it's the first day doing virtual sessions with my trainer again. So you're not gonna be able to hear him because I'm gonna have him in my ears because it's virtual. So I'm gonna have my cell phone set up, but you guys will be able to like see what we're doing, and I'll like repeat back what he says as best as I can. And yeah, I'm just gonna try to like, stay out the way because I have two tripods. So just give me a few days so I get through the gist of things and trying to figure out how I want to maneuver the camera and all that good stuff. But I'm excited. I'm all warmed up. I did 20 minutes on the elliptical. I'm gonna warm up my shoulders a little bit more because I don't know what we're gonna do. So that's the thing. Like, when it's chest day, I know I need to warm up shoulders, chest, triceps. When it's back day, I'm gonna warm up my back and my biceps. And leg day, I'm gonna make sure I warm up my knees and my quads. So I kind of warmed up for like every muscle group, I guess, but I just don't really know what we're doing. So I'm gonna warm up my shoulders a little bit more because sometimes I do suffer from like shoulder discomfort. So I'm gonna do that for a few more seconds, and then when I turn the camera back on, we'll be right into the training session. So, yay! Okay, you guys, so here we started with some rotator cuff, flexibility, mobility type stuff. You just wanted to make sure that my shoulders weren't going to be irritable and just showing me different things that I can do. Really, really, really trying to focus on mobility training as well so that I can, one, live stronger, and two, protect my joints. So we just did some of these. I forgot what he called them, but you guys see me do these when we have chest day. Then he showed me another one where you sit on the floor like so and you have your knee up. I had a 10-pound dumbbell. That was actually a little too heavy and it was actually a little uncomfortable. So I ended up dropping down to a 5-pound dumbbell for those. But he assured me that after a couple of months of doing this, like I'm going to get so much stronger and my range of motion will just be so much better in my shoulders. So yeah, and I did them on left side and right side. Then we did some hip mobility, flexibility type stuff. As you can see, I can't really sit all the way straight with my legs like this. I'm kind of slanted, so I just was focusing on trying to be as upright as possible. And he also let me know that as I keep doing it, it'll get better and better. But I'm not going to lie, it was pretty uncomfortable sitting like that on that side. But when I moved to the other side, I definitely was able to get a little more upright. It wasn't like as uncomfortable as the other side. So we just spent a great deal of time just working on that, working on the range of motion and that stuff there. So yeah. Okay, so here, this is going to really improve my mobility in my knees. And the goal is to try to get as forward as possible. You can see my face, like it is extremely uncomfortable. And then I didn't have a mat for the knee that's like on the floor. I don't know how people can do stuff on the floor without their knees hurting. Like I cannot do that. I should have grabbed a mat. But anyways, I was trying to push my body forward and it was extremely uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. And then I had to do the other side too. My left knee, I had two knee surgeries and it just doesn't do what it's supposed to do. But the goal is to get really deep into the squats in the future, and so this is the only way we're going to get there, right? So no pain, literally no pain, no gain. Okay, so I forgot what he called these, but you guys have not seen me do this. This is actually working the top part of your back and your rear delts. The goal is to try to keep your arms, your wrists like further apart. So I was working on that. And I had 20-pound dumbbells here. And the way we do our sets is he has a timer going for 45 seconds. So it's kind of like an AMRAP, as many reps that you can get in a slow and controlled movement for 45 seconds. And then we did, what are these? Plank rotation. I don't know. I forgot what they're called, but we actually did these yesterday for back day and ab day. So, but it's okay. We did them again. And this time he had me focusing on getting my hip all the way to the floor each time I rotated. And that wasn't something I was doing before. See, he was getting me in check. Like I didn't know you're supposed to get your hips to the floor with this. Then we got into push-ups. I told him one of my goals is to eventually have a 45-pound plate on my back while doing floor push-ups. So we started with just making sure my hand placement was where it needs to be for a push up. And we did some bench push ups. And he really wanted me to go down slowly, not just like throw my body down, but just as slow as possible. And I could only get one real one, right? And then instead of me, normally what I do is I go to a higher incline, as y'all have seen, but he actually told me, no, that's not how you do it. I have bench push ups, so instead of increasing the incline, just reduce the, what do you want to call it? Reduce the motion, but don't increase the incline, basically. That's how I'm going to get stronger, by doing it like this. So he had me go down as many times as I can all the way, which was only one. And then I did a half rep, then like a 3/4 rep, if that makes sense. Just trying to stay on the bench. And then what he had me doing when I couldn't do any more partial reps or whatever, he just had me do a slow, slow, slow decline. And then, I couldn't push myself back up. That's okay. Just drop my knees. So here we go. I'm doing like a really slow decline like that. And then dropped my knees. And then I'm going to get back up and do it again. A really, really slow decline like so. And then I think that was it. I think that's all I had. Yep. Okay. So next we're doing side lunges. You guys have never seen me do these. He had me doing these before. That's why I'm saying I'm glad he's back in my life, because there's a lot of things that he used to have me doing that I no longer do. And just trying to get used to the range of motion of doing a side lunge. The first set that we did was like, just trying to get the motion right. But then when we did sets 2 and 3, it was a lot better. As you see, I have a dumbbell in my hand this time. That's a 20-pound dumbbell. But yeah, I was just focusing on getting my butt as low as possible. And he was letting me know it's okay to lean forward. You don't have to keep your torso upright when doing them. And if I feel it in my groin, which I didn't, but if you do feel it in your groin, then you kind of have to just maneuver your body a little bit, because it should definitely be way more glutes than groin. So we did 45 seconds, 3 sets of that. And yeah. Okay, so we did plate marches, which you guys see me do yesterday for back, biceps, and abs. But we're doing them again. This time though, and he let me know that when I'm doing these, not only am I supposed to, try to stabilize my core, but it's also about trying to get your knee as close to your chest as possible. I was struggling with that. So that's definitely something to work on. And then at the end, we were just doing some stretching out the hamstrings. I never stretch, you guys. I've talked about how I need to improve my stretching and prioritizing that, and supposed to be going to yoga, and haven't really been doing that. It's just not my thing. I know. Shame on me. But he had me stretching. So stretching out my hamstrings, stretching out the groin area from those side lunges. And then he had me doing some quad stretches. These are some shoulder stretches here. And then I didn't get to record. We were doing some quad stretching. I sucked at that. My quads are tight as freak. All right, you guys. First session completed. Let me pull up my stats here. Let's see. For the elliptical portion, because I did 20 minutes on the elliptical, I burned 275 calories. And then for the actual workout with my trainer, it was 120, hour and 20 minutes. That also included like the stretching at the end. And I burned a total of 431 calories there. And then my mile walk. So right now I'm at 1,100 calories burned for the day. Okay, let's talk about it. So a couple of things. I didn't realize I kind of knew how inflexible I was, but he was showing me, we were doing stuff at the beginning that he was showing me that's going to help me be able to get deeper into my squats, because that's one of my goals. Like, y'all know I want a six pack. I also want to have more depth in my back squats, whether we're using the pendulum machine or a Smith machine, whatever. Like, I want to be able to get deeper into that squat. And, just some of the things that he was showing me mobility wise, I was never doing. And he was, just being positive. Like, if you just keep doing this for like a month or two, you'll definitely see big improvements in your range of motion. My quads are really tight. Like, it's just a lot of stuff that I didn't realize was affecting my ability to squat as low as I want. So that was really good. Two, we were doing stuff like the side lunges. So the first set that y'all saw, like, they were pretty uncomfortable. But then once I got into set two and then set three, like, I kind of got used to the movement. But just incorporating side lunges again, because I don't be doing side lunges. So that was really good. Then I'm trying to think, because it's been like 30 minutes. I'm trying to remember like everything that we did. Let's see, we did the side lunges. Okay, the push-ups. Let's talk about the push-ups. All right, so y'all had seen I was doing incline push-ups on the little lat machine where for the padding where you put your thighs, your legs, because it's like a higher incline than the bench. And so, I was doing them there. And when we were training, I did them on the bench, but y'all saw I could only get like 2 solid push-ups. And, I thought that, if I failed doing them on the bench, then that means go to a higher incline. And as y'all see, that's not what we did. Instead of going to a higher incline, I just shortened the depth of the push-up and then did a few decline and failed at the bottom instead of trying to push myself back up. So it was just more like technique wise, because he was like, no, if the fact that you can do a push up on the bench shows like you have it in you. So therefore going to a higher incline is not going to get you to a real floor push-up. You have to now lock in on doing bench push-ups, even if that's only 2. And I know y'all couldn't hear, even if that's only 2, even if that's only 1, then you just shorten the range of motion, or you just go slowly on the decline and then fail at the bottom. So just that technique alone, I didn't know. And so therefore that now I know. So it's so much stuff that I learned just in 1 hour session, right? So I'm not sure how I'm gonna chop it up because I know y'all couldn't hear him and I wasn't really talking to y'all like I normally do. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna edit it out or just edit it so that y'all can like see what was going on. And then plus like I had 2 tripods, it was just a lot. And then the housekeeping lady, she was telling me to move it and it shouldn't be right here. I think to myself, lady, like I'm not bothering anybody. But whatever, like it was just a lot going on. But I know I'll get better at, moving the camera around as we progress and do more training together. But it was just very beneficial. So I'm glad I did it. And then he was asking me about my nutrition, like what am I eating for the week? So just in that one session, I already feel like I got value. And that's the point. Like, if you do get a personal trainer, I feel like you should already know, maybe not with your first session, but I feel like I've already used him. So I already know the value of using him. But if you're trying someone brand new, right? Like maybe you've never done personal training before. I feel like within the first few sessions, you should see value in them being your personal trainer. Like I feel like the whole session should be teaching you stuff and explaining why you're doing what you're doing. Like I was just talking about with the push-ups, he was explaining why doing them like this is better than doing doing a higher incline. And he was explaining to me why even if you can only go slowly on the decline and you fail at the bottom, that's going to build strength over doing incline push or increasing the incline. Like him just breaking that down was teaching me why, right? It wasn't no just do it like this and there's no explanation. And that's my point. Like that's what you're paying for. You're paying to be able to understand why too. It's not just about someone telling you, understanding, because when you understand and I don't think you're going to need a personal trainer forever. Some people, just always want that and there's nothing wrong with that. But for a lot of people, at some point you're going to come to an end with it. Like what I did, like I didn't use him my whole weight loss journey. I took a year off from using a trainer at all and was just doing my own thing. But because I was using him before, I had knowledge and was able to apply that knowledge that he had taught me in previous sessions to the lifts that I was doing by myself, right? I decided to hire a personal trainer at this point because I want to get another 30 pounds of fat off. I need to be around somebody who can help me get there, right? Like, I feel like I've kind of plateaued, or I don't even know if my progress is progressing the way it should be, just all those things. So that's why I was like, it's time to get a trainer again. But I say all this to say, within the first few sessions, you should know if you hired the right personal trainer or not. If you're not getting value, if they're not explaining why, if they're not asking you about your nutrition, because at the end of the day, like, the gym is cool and great, but that's not what's going to help you lose weight. What's going to help you lose weight is your eating. That's what you need to be prioritizing, your eating habits. So, great first session. I'm going to do 2 virtual sessions with him a week. And he's also going to send me workouts to do the other days. So, it's a pretty, and that's the thing too, like, I spoke to a couple of fitness influencers about their online coaching programs, and theirs are way cheaper than what I'm paying for with my personal trainer. Like, one person was $150 a month, and the other person was $200 a month. And that's way cheaper than what I'm about to be paying my trainer now. But what I can say is it's more interaction that I'm getting from him than what I would have been getting from the online coaching. Like, if I have questions, he's there. He's actually watching me do the stuff. It's not just them showing me how to do it and then I'm on my own with it. Like, he was correcting my form as I was doing the workout. I like that. So you have to choose what's best for you and, what meets your needs. But for me, I like to know that I'm doing it right, not think that I'm doing it right. And you're not going to know if you're doing it right if someone's not watching you do it. You get what I'm saying? So it's just stuff like that. But again, it's all about preference and what you need, what you want, what's going to help you on your journey, what may be important to me may not be important to you. The fact that he's vegan is very important to me. You may not be vegan, so that you might not care about stuff like that, right? Like, it's really for you and what's going to help you lose weight and what's going to help you get the results that you want. I can't tell you what the right answer is for you. It's also about your budget. And for me as well, something else that's really important, like, I'm building a brand on fitness and weight loss and mental health. Like, that's what I love talking about. That's what I love doing. That's what I love making content about. And I want to make sure that what I'm telling you guys that I'm doing and showing you guys what I'm doing is right. Okay, one thing I never want to do is not give the right information. I would never want to do that. And in order to make sure that I don't do that, I have to be constantly fueling my mind with the right information so that I can share that information with you guys. And that requires me to invest in it. Most people who work out, they're not building a brand on fitness, right? Like, at the other gym, there were plenty of people in there who were bodybuilders, right? You might find people in the gym who are also personal trainers. So, they have to take it a little bit more seriously because their career or their hobby, like, whatever that level is for them, like, it could just be for mental clarity, like, whatever. Like, we all have our own reasons as to why we work out. Yes, my reason was to lose weight, to be healthy. It's still that. But I have now also incorporated it into making content, into sharing my journey with you guys, right? So, I take it a little bit more seriously than someone who's just trying to do 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's just different levels of commitment there. And so, again, what I might consider important, you might not consider important. Only you can answer that for you, right? All I can do is tell you what I do when I'm screening potential personal trainers, And I can make a whole video on, like, different questions that I asked because I did talk to a few other people. So, you know, I told you guys the trainer I was using, he was like number one anyways. But I did want to see what the online thing was about because I had never done that before. And I know a lot of people are doing that. So, I didn't even know what that consisted of. I had no idea. I didn't know what the price points were. I didn't know if you get to talk to that coach. Like, and the one that was 150, you don't even get to talk to him. And that might be okay for some people, but for me, that's not what I was looking for, right? I was looking for more one-on-one interaction. So that already was not going to be a good fit for me. But for someone else, that might be a good fit for them, right? It clearly is because, he has a lot of clients. So that works for them. The other girl, she's not vegan. So, some of the things that she was telling me, I don't necessarily agree with when it comes to building muscle and being on a vegan diet, right? So that's when I realized, after talking to her, I was like, okay, I think I need to have a personal trainer that is also vegan. So even if the trainer I have now, maybe 6 months from now, he might decide he doesn't want to be a personal trainer anymore, right? Like everyone's life changes, whatever. Even though I doubt it, he's been a personal trainer for decades. But the point I'm making is, if he decides that he doesn't want to be a personal trainer anymore and I have to go and find another one, I now know for a fact I have to be with a personal trainer who is also vegan. Like, I realized how important that is for me. But if you're not vegan, you might not give a fuck, right? But there are also people who may not be vegan but eat a lot of plant-based meals and they want to continue with that, right? So even if you're not vegan, you might consider that as something really important. You might also just be someone who doesn't want to consume protein powders. You don't want to be eating artificial meat or whatever. Like, you might be really big on that. So you might like having a vegan trainer because their their values align with yours. Whereas other people, they're okay with consuming protein powders daily. And there's nothing wrong. Like, I'm not knocking any of it. I used to consume a lot of protein powders as well. I'm just trying to explain to you guys, like, you have to make that choice and that decision for you and what's important for you. Like, yes, at the end of the day, we all want to lose weight, right? But the journey to get there, the path to get there, there's many different paths. There's many different right ways. Just like entrepreneurship, like, there's so many ways to get to $1 million, right? But the path, there's a million different paths to get there. So, only you can decide what's best for you. But I'm glad that first session was out the way. Got a lot of value right off jump. So that's good. Yeah. I'm I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I'm feeling really motivated and, already within the first workout doing stuff that I don't normally do. So that was great, right? Like, side lunges. I don't even know the last time I did a side lunge. So that's good. And I'm glad that I don't have to really think about my workouts anymore. They're already made for me. So that works out great. That works out great. If you guys want to see what I did yesterday was my last bro split, which was back, biceps, and abs. Make sure y'all click right here. And I will see you guys again tomorrow for full body. Bye, you guys.